All right, guys, so you're probably watching this because you've had injuries, and if you're an athlete, you're gonna get injured. There's no doubt in my mind, if you keep competing long enough, you will get injured, okay? That is okay though. Now we have to understand the recovery process and how we incorporate that into our training and our performance process. So we've all heard of the rest, ice, compress, elevate, right? There's always a time and a place for this. If I have a gnarly tissue issue, right? I tear my shoulder up. There's no doubt in my mind that for those tissues to recover, I need to rest. I need to ice it. I need to compress it. I need to do all the things to let the tissues actually start to heal back together. But what's not talked about is after that recovery method or that couple of weeks off of training, I can still be doing things on this side to help accelerate this healing process, right? So here's one of the things I want to talk about real quick. There's always nutrition building block things that you can do to help the healing of these tissues, right? If you're sitting over here eating gummy bears and sugar, it's not going to help these tissues heal back up to their full strength. If I'm putting in lean proteins, if I'm putting in dark leafy greens to help with inflammation, if I'm putting in my mixed berries, right? All of this stuff is giving me the building blocks and the nutrients that I need to transport to those injured tissues to accelerate the healing process and to make those tissues stronger when they heal back together, okay? So there's always something like that nutrition-wise I can be addressing. Guys, we have guides on this. I have resources for you. Just go find them and I will educate you on how to eat while you're injured. Okay, the second part, now my training, okay? If you're a high-level sports performance athlete, you cannot afford to take 4 to 6 weeks off, right? You cannot afford that within your training process. One, physically, you start to get cardio effects, you start to lose strength, right? Like all those things are proven by research over and over again. The mental side is even bigger, right? The longer I take off, my confidence starts dropping down. Now I start playing head games when I come back because I'm fearful of what's gonna happen because I've taken so long off. My body's lost its confidence interval to say, hey, you know what? I can do this stuff. I have my positive reinforcement loop. Instead, I'm like, oh man, I just don't know. But if I keep training through this, okay, a couple different things are gonna happen. One, if I bum up this shoulder, I'm just gonna stay on this example. If I bum up this shoulder, now over here on this side, if I'm even pressing or I'm doing a lift over here, my body will automatically start to recruit this other side, right? I cannot just turn on a signal for this side of my body and not this side, because usually if this arm's doing something, this arm's getting prepped to do something as well. So now every time I hit a push, every time I hit a pull on this side, the muscles and nerves are still at a low grade working and recruiting and working and recruiting. Even though I'm not getting tissue use over here, I'm still working on recruitment patterns and function over on this side. So then once the tissues are healed and I'm ready to actually go fire it back up, my brain and my nerves are coordinated with those muscles because I've been training over here the whole time, right? Don't just take those 6 weeks off and not use any of them and have atrophy and have all these losses going on that you could have been trying to stay ahead of the game. Okay, so a couple different things here. One, understand nutrition and how it affects your recovery. Two, understand continuing to train through injuries, right? There's always ways to train through. Trust me, I get this question all the time. Well, hey, I have no way to work legs. Yes, you do. If you broke both legs, okay, perfect. We still have core, we still have upper body, right? If I take out one leg, I've still got another leg I can be training on. I can still be hitting all my lifts in functional control on, right? Now when I come back from injury, I'm gonna be so much farther ahead than everyone else because I've spent the last 6 weeks functionally working and keeping blood flow going, okay? Here we go. So anytime I work out, heart rate goes up. Anytime heart rate goes up, blood transportation goes up. If I'm putting the right nutrients in and I have more transportation of my blood, it's gonna be going to those areas and carrying more nutrient-dense things to those areas to accelerate the healing process. Guys, it's science, right? Use the science to understand your recovery. The last part I wanna touch on real quick. So many people are getting injured because there's one phenomenon out there called the weak third week, right? So I start ramping up volume, I start ramping up my loads, I start ramping up. Every time I do something a little bit more, or I start to overload my body, my tissues break down. If I don't allow them to recover, what happens from day to day? I break down, I break down, I break down. And at some point, it's gonna break, right? If it just keeps going down, there's only so much that I can give before I have a serious tissue issue. And I tear my bicep, I rip my hammy off, right? Like there's different things that are gonna happen because your body is chronically broken down over time. And that goes back to understanding how we program and structure into our lifts, right? Into our training cycles throughout the year. If I'm structuring those properly and I'm throwing in the right cardio, the right plyometric stuff, the right strength stuff, the right mobility stuff, the right nutrients at the right time, you will not see these injuries from chronic overuse and then a break, right? It's a yo-yo. I talk about the yo-yo effect all the time. Boom, I go down, I get injured. Hey, I come back up, I feel pretty darn good. Boom, I get injured again. There's no way out of this yo-yo effect unless you start to understand the training principles behind it. Guys, I hope that helps. Rethink the way that you guys are coming back through your recovery. If you guys need help or guidance, download the guides, understand the nutrition, understand the rehab protocols that are next level. It's not just, hey, I can rip a band apart now for my shoulder injury. How do I get from ripping bands apart and moving 5-pound dumbbells back to the highest level sports performance that's out there and throwing at 100 miles an hour with my fastball, or taking a wrestler and having somebody sprawl on my shoulder but not have pain, right? That is the transition gap from traditional physical therapy to high level sports performance, and that's a gap that we help you guys close. Download the guides, get involved with this stuff. It's gonna take your performance and your health to the next level. All right, guys, keep crushing it. Later.